Hi folks, I'm James and welcome to episode 56 of I Don't Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles Quarantine catalog, where I'm attempting to play all 248 Beatles songs in chronological order while I am still stuck inside. As always, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Venmo in case you'd like to subscribe, follow, share, or support the series. Let's talk about the Beatles. As you know, we are now working through the Beatles' third album, A Hard Day's Night, an album known for being on the big screen, of course, but also known for being covered in the sound of the Rickenbacker 12-string guitar, a sound that is credited with helping spark the folk rock boom of the mid-60s. But we're going to take a break from that electric sound as we have reached a milestone in the Beatles catalog. Paul McCartney just wrote his first melancholy ballad. Much like the pessimistic John song, of which we've had many, the Melancholy Paul ballad is a great signifier of who wrote which song in the Beatles catalog. Following this tune, Paul will go on to make a legendary career out of writing songs like this. In fact, you could argue that nobody in music history writes a love ballad quite like Paul McCartney. And of all the amazing ballads that Paul will write in his amazing career, today he will record his first. Let's talk about And I Love Her. It took the Beatles quite a few takes and 3 whole days to record And I Love Her. On day 1, George is using his Rickenbacker 12-string, which he uses for pretty much the rest of the album. Ringo is on the drum set, and there isn't even a bridge to this song yet. Day 2 saw George switch to the acoustic guitar, Ringo switch to the bongos, and John and Paul threw together a bridge over a tea break. And on day 3, George adds the classic opening guitar lick, which basically makes the song. And on take 21, they finally had it down. If you'd like to hear what this song would have sounded like with electric guitar, a drum set, and no bridge, you can, because take 2 from day 1 is available on the internet, it's on YouTube, it's on the Beatles Anthology. Take a listen to it. Obviously not as good as the final version, but still always good to hear where the song starts and where the song ends. Things to listen for in this song. Lyrically, here we have a Beatles song where the lyrics and the chords and the melody are all pretty much equal. Usually the lyrics are definitely second to the other two, but with this tune, the lyrics are definitely worth listening to. They're very, very poetic, very lovely, romantic lyrics. But more importantly, to Paul anyway, was the title. Paul was very proud of the title, And I Love Her. He's quoted as saying, "You often would go to town on a title, but this was almost an aside. Oh, and I love you." And I should mention, while this is Paul's first melancholy love ballad, he is also quoted as saying, "It's just a love song. It wasn't for anyone." Chord-wise, we have plenty to talk about, the first thing being that we have our first majorly released Beatles original in a minor key. This entire song is in minor keys. It's actually in 2 different minor keys, which is very cool. Our first minor Beatles song. Also, we have our first sudden and obvious key change in the Beatles catalog. As we talked about last episode, the Beatles loved changing keys within bridges and verses and choruses, but you probably never heard them before, and they probably didn't even know they were writing them. This is the first song with a key change that is definitely purposeful. The entire song takes place in 1 key, but once you hit the guitar solo, the rest of it is a step up. It's just a way to add a little bit of excitement to a song that's otherwise pretty repetitive. It won't happen a lot in the catalog. They very rarely do the sudden step up, but they do it today in And I Love Her. But the most memorable chord from this tune is, of course, the last one, because the entire song is written in a minor key, but out of nowhere, the last chord of the song is a major chord. It makes the song end with quite a lot of flavor. It may even be a bit cheesy or cliche. It makes it sound a bit like a church song. You may recall religious music ending that way. But it definitely gives the song quite the ending, depending on how you feel about it. But what absolutely makes this song is George Harrison on guitar. He is so good in this tune that Paul said later on that he probably should have shared the writing credit with him and not John. It should have been a McCartney-Harrison composition, because George not only added the great opening lick, but he also has an unbelievable guitar solo that's all out of time. He's sort of lagging behind the beat. It's very emotional and perfect for the first Paul McCartney ballad. But he adds these arpeggios of chords on the second, third, and fourth verses that are just beautiful. This song is all about George Harrison, even though he had nothing to do with writing it. And apparently, everything he does on the guitar, he just sort of made up on the spot. Last thing I'll point out about this tune is something I just learned 10 minutes ago when I was recording it myself. But if you listen to the outro guitar part, you can hear Paul humming along with it. And I had never heard that before. So, of course, I will do that in mine as well. And that's pretty much it for the first melancholy Paul ballad, the first of many. John himself referred to And I Love Her as Paul's first yesterday. I'm not sure if that's a dig at Paul. It probably is, knowing John, but either way, here is Beatles song number 56, And I Love Her.
I give her all my love, that's all I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too. I love her. She gives me everything, and tenderly the kiss my lover brings, she brings to me, and I love her. A love like ours could never die, as long as I have you near me. Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know this love of mine will never die, and I love her. Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know this love of mine will never die, and I love